All right, folks. So that's going to do it. The final score is probably going to be 20-15, and another loss here as Daniel Jones is going to take this Hail Mary to Jalen Hyatt, and it's going to get picked off. And Hyatt went ahead and touched them there. If only some crazy stuff happened and Hyatt didn't touch the guy and he just ran out of the back of the end zone, that'd be great. But either way, the Giants cannot execute when they play against division rivals, when they play against the Eagles and the Cowboys. It's always been a mess. Where do I start? 5 field goals today. 5 times we were in position to score a touchdown, and we kicked field goals every single time. Now, Brian Dable, I believe that Brian Dable should have. No, listen, this is my opinion. I believe that Brian Dable should have gone for it on that last field goal where we got into the red zone, because I was sitting here thinking, why why would we chance that we're going to get back down there again with Daniel Jones and with this offense? Daniel Jones aside, just the Giants offense in general has not been good for years. So if we've gotten to the point of where we can score a field goal where we're down that deep, let's see what, one, two, three, four, 5 times. You think that offense is going to do it a sixth time? You think that offense is going to get down there 6 times, 7 times in a game? Like, it's not going to happen. When they can't run the football, you got to go for it right there. You have to go for it, because guess what? If they go for it there, what was it, 12? They go for it there. They go for 2. It's 2020 right now. Who knows? Who knows what happens there? But they absolutely had to go for it there, because you cannot put trust in this offense when, if you don't get the touchdown, your defense has to stop them from driving for 98 yards. If your defense can't stop them from driving 98 yards, they don't deserve to win the game. You can't win the game if you can't stop that. Like Minnesota, I'm fine with that. They drove 99 yards. That's just, it is what it is. The defense ain't good at that point. They don't deserve to win. You can't play scared. You got to be aggressive. Got to put the ball in your playmakers' hands. We could not run the ball at all today. We could not run the ball at all today. Devin Singletary today could not find any space. Could not find any space. He just couldn't find any space today. They didn't block. Tyrone Tracy couldn't find any space. Eric Gray couldn't find any space. This offensive line was horrible. Against the worst run defense in the league, they were horrible. 27 rushing yards, 26 rushing yards, I think, today. The Giants averaged 1.1 yard per carry. 1.1 yard a carry. This is the NFL. This is grown men. This is football, where you should at least be averaging 2 yards a carry. We couldn't average 1.5 yards a carry today against the worst run defense in the league. And they say that this Cowboys Eagles thing against the Giants isn't a curse. It makes no sense. We bullied the Browns defensive line. We bullied those guys. But the Cowboys defensive line, they can't stop anything in the run game. Oh, they just bow up and they just stop us. You know, they just lock in against the run. What a joke. What a joke. Also, crucial drops today from Darius Slayton on third down on a back shoulder, where he turns around to contort his body to go catch it. And then once he turns around, he's kind of falling down. But guess what? The ball hits him right here, right in the breadbasket. Got to catch it. Got to catch it there on third down. And that's when Dable decided not to go for it. Not to go for it there. And then Wandale, third down. You're running a slant. You're running a slant, and the ball hits you in the hands. And he drops the ball. And he's looking for a flag. He's busy worrying about what he's going to do after he catches it. He's going to, turn up the field and run for 20 more yards. But he didn't catch the ball. Third down, and the next play, guess what? Malik Nabers hurt. Next play, Malik Nabers gets hurt on fourth down, because DJ is running around, and he's like, if I'm running around, I might as well throw it to Malik Nabers. Even though Singletary was wide open, I'm not going to penalize DJ for that, because it is what it is there. I mean, He probably didn't see Devin Singletary running left. It's a difficult throw to make. So we have to execute here. And then on Daniel Jones's side, you got Darius Slayton on an offsides penalty running behind Trayvon Diggs and the Cowboys defense, and you underthrow the football. You got Malik Nabers on the other side behind the defense once again, second week in a row. Behind the defense, and you don't hit him in stride. You can't hit him in stride. It's an interception. Like, I think that was an offsides penalty too or something. But either way, you had two guys deep, open, behind the defense, and we got nothing out of it. This is a trend. This is not, oh, Daniel was just getting his timing back. This is a trend that has been happening for years, that we called out for years, that never gets fixed. It's not gotten better. He has never been able to hit people behind the defense in stride. He does not have, at this point, whether it's the neck surgery or not, at this point, he simply doesn't have the arm. It's just that simple. At this point, he just doesn't have the arm. And before that, he was inaccurate. He didn't have the touch to hit guys downfield behind the defense. Now, yes, he had deep throws where guys had to stop to catch it, but as far as hitting in stride, never been able to do it. So that those reasons, the drops, the Daniel Jones misses and underthrows, left plays out there. Amazing stat line as far as completion percentage to start the game. Good amount of yardage, but couldn't execute when we needed to. Crucial plays got left out there. And then thinking about other crucial moments in the game, the face mask on Daniel Bellinger was egregious. It was an egregious call by the referees. And then the next drive, we get a block in the back penalty that is clearly a block in the back and a hold off also, that they just call, they throw the flag on, and then they say, oh no, there's no flag, we're picking it back up. That swing took all the momentum away from the Giants and gave it to the Cowboys. There's a stat line that I read off earlier in my stream that I said where pretty much this referee, when he plays for the Cowboys, they get an expected 12 points added. And he's refereed for like over 10 of their games. So it's not just a fluke. Every time he's there, for some reason, they get better calls. And I normally would never be somebody who would call out, oh, referees is why we lost the game. Listen, he called a face mask on a guy that was getting face masked. That's literally the craziest thing I've ever heard. He didn't even have his face anywhere near the guy's face mask. His arms were down, and he got a face mask call for getting his face mask grabbed. Where did they do that at? Where are you learning to be an official to where a guy gets face masked and you call a face mask on him? I'm sure we'll get a letter from the NFL, but that seems very egregious. Like, listen, again, I never come out here and blame referees for losses, but an investigation needs to be done to see if this guy is betting on the Cowboys, to see if he's a Cowboys fan or something, because those two calls, they were killer calls. Now, yes, they had a bunch of penalties after that, but at the same time, when you look at those two calls, they were inexcusable. They were inexcusable. Dable, decent game today as far as play calling. Nothing special at all. I thought, again, he should have gone for it down there in the red zone a couple of times, because this team, they have not proven that they can get down in the red zone 7-8 times a game. That's not them. It's not them. Especially when you can't run the ball, you have to try to get into the end zone. And then the fact that this guy on the last drive of the game where we're trying to get downfield, waste a play, trying to run the ball, where Andrew Thomas just whiffs on a block to Micah Parsons, and we lose yardage, that makes me sick. That makes me absolutely sick that we wasted a play running the ball when we have been averaging we've been averaging a yard and a 1.1 yard per rush. and we decide to go to the run at that point, while we have Malik Nabers out there and Daniel Jones out there, and now Nabers has a concussion, hopefully Nabers can get back because we have this long break between now and then. But now the Giants are 1-3. They very well should be 2-1, or 2-2, or 3-1, because they should have won the Washington game if Dable goes out and gets a kicker, and they should have won this game if these guys could catch, and the referees didn't blow those two egregious calls. So another mess here. Malik Nabers here. If you decide to target this guy this many times per game, he's going to get hurt. He's a human being. He's not 223 pounds. He's not a big physical, and even those guys get hurt. But he's not a big receiver. He's built, but he's not a huge receiver. So you target him another 15 times today, fine, okay, cool. But all the times that this guy got targeted for 3 yards where he got hit, that adds up. It adds up. You can't expect him to make it through a season when you're targeting him that close to the line of scrimmage over and over again. He's not Debo. He's not one of those guys that's going to continue to just get hit after hit after hit at the line of scrimmage by linebackers and safe. It's just not good. And he ended up getting hurt today, trying to go after a ball on the last play of the game. Now they're thinking it's a concussion, or maybe he got the wind knocked out of him. But 15 targets today, 12 catches, 115 yards for Malik Nabers. No touchdowns, but 115 yards again. Malik Nabers is on fire. He's going to probably be top 3 as far as catches go. He's probably going to be at the top of the league as far as yardage is. And he's balling. I remember people said, like, how is Malik Nabers going to get to 1,000 yards? Listen, easily. He's Malik Nabers. That's how he's going to do it. So hopefully he's going to end up being okay. Hopefully Michael Parsons is going to end up being okay, and Trayvon Diggs can get healthy. You never want to see all these players getting hurt. So hopefully those guys will all be able to make a quick recovery, and we'll see all 3 of those guys in the next game. But the Giants should have won this game. Some coaching mishaps, in my opinion. The ability to not run the football at all disgusts me against this defense that could not stop a cold. It really makes me sick. Really makes me sick. So I would say congratulations to the Cowboys, but no, I'm not going to congratulate you all. Hopefully we beat you all on Thanksgiving. Should have won this game. Looks like we closed the gap. Looks like we closed the gap, or you all got worse. But Giants got to execute better. 1-3, that's probably cooked for the season as far as that goes. I don't see the rest of these teams losing a bunch of games. So the Giants may be competing to get, 5-6 wins this season and picking in the top 7 or 8 picks again. So back at it again, losing to these teams. Find the best way possible that we can lose to these squads. You all let me know what you think of this loss.